Hey guys, how's it going? I've not done a video for a few weeks because I've been busy making some other projects happen, and I'm going to talk to you about them in a little second. It's been great to see that you're still watching the videos though. We're getting loads of shares, we're just expanding the network, and we're keeping on doing this, just growing this community so that we can help you guys, we can help veterans who are trying to get back on their feet, and just trying to spread this word about how self-fulfillment and self-development is vital to everybody as they want to move through their life in a positive direction. So what I've been working on recently is I've created a book which I call 3 Steps to Freedom. You'll see it at the bottom now. It's a book that's on Amazon, and it's essentially all of the life lessons that I've learned applied with all of the skills and the leadership training that I've learned over the years within the military and in finance as well. And it's combined into this one course which will allow you to start at this position where you may be having various issues in different parts of your life, and then by the end of it you've got a clear understanding of your life purpose, the goals that you want to achieve, and how you're going to go about doing them. And so what I did was, I then turned it into an online course. So it's broken down into modules with lessons, and we've got the videos that we use, and it all combines into this course which is available on the website. Again, the link's here. And then what you can do is you can click on that and you can do the course in your own time. It's self-directed and it's self-paced, so there's no pressure to do homework by a certain time. It's just a case of you just working your way through it as and when you feel right to move on to the next lesson. And then by the end of it, as I say, you're going to have this amazing array of tools which are going to help you move towards your correct life goals in a positive manner. Now that's one of the options of what we're doing, but we're also, we've now set up an online coaching service which you can find on the website, and that allows you to speak to me or one of the coaches that are in the team on a one-to-one basis. So you can either go through the course or you can talk to one of us, and we'll help you through the same sort of methodology dependent on what areas you want to work on. So it's a bit more intimate rather than the course you have to work through it in a sequential order. But both options are great. They're both ready to go. We've just installed a booking system on the website, so you can go on there, you can pick a time to have a 15-minute consultation with me or one of the team, and then from there, as long as we both feel that we can work together and that we're going to get benefit from the relationship, you can then book yourself into online coaching sessions. You can either do an hour or you can book 5 hours, which is a slightly reduced rate. And the beauty of this is that by you guys buying these, either the course or the coaching sessions, you're actually contributing to our other charitable side, which is helping veterans, because a lot of the veterans have got similar sort of issues, but they may not have the finances to be able to help them work through it. So we want to try and offer to veterans the same sort of coaching but at a heavily reduced rate. So you're helping yourself, but you're also helping others, which is a perfect mix in my opinion. And the reason why we've come to this is I had a bit of a sort of financial crisis, and it's an excellent lesson that I've learned, and I was focused so hard on building the business, and there's a lot to it, and I can teach you about how to set up a business. You basically got to set up a website, you've got to create a brand, you've got to create a buzz around yourself, and I call this pre-suasion. So this is setting the conditions before you even launch a product. And you're just getting your name out there. You're starting to become known as this key person within your field. So you've created your social media channels, you put videos out like we do now, and then you're working on your product in the background. So then by the time that you're ready to launch your product, you've already got a buzz around yourself, you've already got a community built up, and so you can launch the product and then persuade people to take it on, to take on your service. And so it's a nice order of things, but as with anything, it takes a lot of time to actually start to get that motion rolling. And so it's taken me a year to get to this point now. And what I found was that because I was trying to focus on generating external investment, I was starting to drift away from my true purpose. And so I found myself moving away from helping people, whether it's online or through the course, and I was drifting towards more lucrative options, so corporate team building, presentations to black tie dinners, and it didn't sit right with my core ethos about what I was here to do. And so I had a bit of a strategic realignment, and this happened quite interestingly when I was sat in my house. I'd run out of cash, and the lights had gone out, literally, the internet had been cut off, and I thought to myself, you know what, I've been so reliant on trying to appease other people in order to get investment from them that I've stopped focusing on what I can do to generate that type of revenue. And so at that point, it was kind of an epiphany. I decided that I was going to break away from other people, not because I'm like completely narrow-minded, but because I knew what I needed to achieve and I needed to do it on my own. And so it was a really important lesson, and the moment that I decided that I was going to take control of my own financial destiny, things started to move forward in quite a quick manner, because I'd realigned with what I initially set out to do. I rewrote my business plan just to make sure that I knew exactly where I was at now. And this is something that's quite important to you. You need to revisit your business plan probably every 3 to 4 months. As you're first setting out, and then you can maybe stretch it out a little bit, because you need to make sure that you're still aligned with what you're trying to achieve. Because it's pointless you saying that your destination is here and then you're drifting off over here. A really good analogy of that is when you navigate by compass. So if your degree is half a degree out when you've set your compass, and you start marching on that bearing, it might not seem that much after 100 metres, but after 2 miles, you could potentially be, like a mile or two off where you're supposed to be going, and that's just from that tiny little error. And so we need to always recalibrate and make sure that we're exactly on track so that we keep going to our right destination. And so I decided that I was going to take control of my own financial destiny. And very quickly things started to develop. I made new partnerships which were in line with what I'm trying to achieve for veterans and also coaching online. I started to make some strategic partnerships which are going to help me to push that forward. That's another lesson. You can do a lot on your own, but then it comes to a point where you need to really bring people into the team to help you to develop it further, simply because there's just so much workload when you're trying to start out. And the thing is, you might not be able to pay them a wage, so you need to find the right person who is prepared to work, not for a wage, but for something further down the line. And that could be equity in the business, it could be the opportunity for a payoff or a buyout later on, or it could be because you're able to sell them on what you're trying to achieve and they believe in that. And so there's quite a few lessons that came out, and one of the interesting things when you're setting up a business in a very lean manner is that you've got to be so smart with your money, whatever little of it you've got. But ultimately, cash is king. You need to make sure that you've got money to pay your bills, because if you can't pay your bills, you're not going to be focusing on your business and growing that. You're going to be focusing on your fear. Fear of not paying your mortgage, fear of not being able to buy food, fear of being cut off from your internet or having your car insurance cut off. And so you need to think about how you're going to maintain that cash flow for yourself as you're working through that initial 18 months of setting up a business, because it's highly unlikely that you're going to start making a profit before then. And so there's various options. We've obviously talked about creative earning in the past. It might be that you have to get a job. I went a bit ghetto and decided that I was just going to go for broke and not work, live off my savings and make this happen. That's a risky strategy, and it's worked for a year, but then it gets to a point where, if your money runs out, you have to think slightly outside of the box. So whilst I can still focus on this, I'm able to do a few little projects for other people which allow me to be able to pay my bills, and it gives me that sense of calm, so that I'm not focusing on paying my bills or not paying them, and I can just continue to grow my business opportunities. And so it's a lesson there for us all about how we need to ensure that we have a positive cash flow throughout the startup period until we get to the point that the business is actually, you know, generating its own income. Because at that point, then, if you've got any secondary jobs, you can cut them off and you can focus solely on this. But ultimately, it comes down to not expecting anything from anyone else. Because if you expect and you don't receive, then it's going to, you know, it's going to knock you quite significantly. So don't expect anything. Make sure that you've got positive cash flow and just keep going. Don't give in, because these things are here to test us, and a lot of people will fall at the first hurdle. But you know what? We can learn so much from when we hit obstacles that'll actually help us in the future. Because I now know, on a relatively low risk scale, how important my relationship with finance is. Because if I didn't learn that lesson now, and I happened to lose a lot more money, then it would have been a far greater blow for me. And so I'm in a great place. I'm starting to make real progress, and I can feel that I'm on the cusp of success now. And you know, we've been talking on here for probably, I don't know, just short of a year. So you can see the progress that we've made during that period. We've now got the product in place, which is, we've got a book, we've got an online course, we've got an online coaching service. So there's 3 products, and they're great products. They're well priced, they're competitive, and they're using all of the modern technology that potentially the competition isn't using. And so we are in a very strong position, and we can start to grow the network now. People have got to have faith, but you know what? If people can't have faith in you, then you're not leading right. And so you have to be able to be confident in your own idea and be able to sell that to other people. Not with the enticement of money, but on the enticement of an idea, of a concept that you believe in so thoroughly because it's so sound that other people just can't ignore it. And so that's where we are now. Now there's another video coming out today, and it's all about the books that I've been reading recently. But one book that I haven't mentioned in that, which I've actually started reading now, is called Mastery, and it's by Robert Greene. This is an incredible book, and it talks about how we have to go through various phases in order to become a master of whatever it is that we do. And one of the key lessons that I've learned from it so far is that you can't expect things to happen overnight. You've got to anticipate that things are going to take a long time to occur. And as soon as you can get your head around that, then you keep going. Because you're not expecting to achieve success within a month or 6 months. You know that it's going to take you 2 years or 3 years or 5. And so once you realise that, just keep plugging away. Just keep chipping away every day. Just achieve a little bit more, a little bit more. And eventually, by the time that you've got a year down the road, if you've achieved something every day, just think how far you would have gone. And then the final piece to it is when you get enough traction and enough influence that people have to come to you. And so that's where we're at now. And so hopefully, you know, in a few months' time, I'll be able to say to you, look guys, we made it, we did it. And you've seen me do it, and now I want you to do the same thing because you can do it as well. And this is where we're at. We're so much further down the line than when we first started talking. And so just keep with us, keep making your own ideas, and check out the course, 3 Steps to Freedom. It helped me, and it can help you, I promise. So I'll look forward to speaking to you again. Make sure that you like and share the videos, and that's the fire alarm. So on that note, I'll catch you later.